Anything is possible.
Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Donna Gray and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator from the Northern Rivers area in New South Wales, Australia. I'm bringing you a card today that I participated in a card swap, and it was actually a colour challenge. So the colour challenge was to use these three colours, so Pool Party, Blackberry Bliss and Rich Razzleberry. So I had to create a card using those three colours as the colour scheme. So what I thought I'd do is use the Positive Thoughts stamp set and the Nature's Thoughts dies, which are our new coordination products that go with the Positive Thoughts stamp set. So these are available to purchase right now for the month of February only. So if you simply love this stamp set and you wanted to get the gorgeous framelits to match, this month is the month to purchase those items. So they're only available while stocks last. I'm also going to use, out of this Positive Thoughts, the Nature's Thoughts dies, I'm going to use this gorgeous framelit, and I'm going to incorporate my stitched shaped framelits as well. So this one's actually going to, my rectangle framelits, this one's going to nestle nicely inside this one to actually create a really cute frame for our card. So what I'm actually going to do is we'll put all these things aside and we'll get to stamping first of all. So I thought with the colour challenge I would use Pool Party for the foliage on this card. So I'm going to bring in just a scrap piece of paper so I can stamp off and not get it all over my work surface. So I've got a scrap piece of paper there. Okay, so I'm going to take this large leafy foliage stamp, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to stamp one full strength going up into that corner, and then I want a half strength one there, and I'm going to do the same thing going down this way, one full strength that way and a half strength that way. Okay, so that's created a really nice look there. Now I wanted to pop the half strength on this side as well. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to stamp off and then stamp on there. And same thing with this one down the bottom. I'm just going to ink it up, stamp off and stamp on. Okay, so we've got that gorgeous arrangement right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the flower and I'm going to stamp a couple of them in our Blackberry Bliss. So I'm going to ink up the flower. Now I'm going to show you a trick with this flower, that we ink up the flower but then we stamp once but then turn it and rotate around a little bit just to get a little bit of a difference with the stamp, and then stamp the second time. So you're going to get a variegated flower there. So I'm going to stamp one of them there, and I'm also going to stamp one of them up here. And without re-inking, I nearly went and re-inked. Without re-inking, turn it around and re-stamp again over the top to get that variegated look. I'm now going to clean that stamp off. And we're going to come in with the Rich Razzleberry and do the same thing with the Rich Razzleberry. So clean that stamp off. And then our Rich Razzleberry, we're going to come in again and we're going to straddle this way with our flowers this time. So we're going to ink that up, we're going to stamp there and turn around and stamp again. So you get that different variegated look in your flower. One there, and turn and re-stamp again, okay? Now, we have this gorgeous fern stamp as well in this. So I'm going to bring in the fern with my Pool Party again. And I'm randomly going to stamp some of these ferns around. So we've got one there, one coming out here, another one through there, another one down through here and there, and one there and maybe 1 or 2 up that way. Okay, and we need some down here too. So 1 there and another 1 there. Okay, so that's created a really lovely abstract background there for our card. Now, the next thing what I wanted to do while I've got my inks out, I want to stamp some of the butterflies, and I'm going to do a little bit of a trick with the butterfly here. I'll clean that off because I've used that before. So I'm going to do a bit of a trick with the butterfly that we're going to ink it up with our pool party. So we're going to ink it up with the pool party. We're then going to turn it over, and with our Blackberry Bliss, we're going to take a sponge dauber and we're going to ink up the sponge dauber and just sponge a little bit on the outside of the wings of the butterfly. And you're going to see how we create this gorgeous, look at that two-tone butterfly. Is that not super, super pretty? You could actually, if you wanted to, you could pop a little bit of the Blackberry Bliss on the inside, the inner part of the body, but I wanted to have most of it be the pool party and just the outside edges, and just lightly tapping with the Blackberry Bliss because it is fairly dark, and then stamp another butterfly like that. So you get some gorgeous looking colored butterflies. You could create some beautiful butterflies by using that technique. Okay, so we've got that done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the Big Shot machine, and we're going to cut those butterflies out, and we're also going to use some of the framelits to cut some other butterflies and pieces out. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the Big Shot. I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see a little bit more about what's going on there. Okay, oh, sorry about that. Okay, so in our framelits that match our stamp set, we have, oh, here they are here. We have the butterfly to be able to cut our butterfly out. So I'm just going to line up the butterfly with that die. And if your magnets make it want to jump around, then just move your cardstock so that you can get it to sit where you need it to be. Okay. So they're like that. Oop. Now our framelits fit quite nicely on our stamped images these days, so just make sure that you can see that the image is even all the way around. Fingers crossed. I'm going to cut this one out. Okay. Yep. And then we'll take our second one and cut it out. Okay. Like that, and run it through. So we've got our two gorgeous butterflies cut out, and then I'm going to bring in, I have a scrap piece of our rich razzleberry, so I'm going to use those framelits, so the one from the Nature's Thoughts dies. I'm going to put it at an angle so it goes through my Big Shot nicely, and I'm just going to line that one. I'm just going to eyeball it to be in the middle of that other rectangle frame. I'm going to run that one through. Okay, and you are going to see how gorgeous this looks. Look at that stunning border that we have just got. Okay, it gives us that gorgeous stitched look all the way around. Absolutely stunning frame. So we're going to do that again in our pool party. So we're going to once again pop that frame. We're going to put it on an angle so we don't have a speed bump for that framelit to the rollers to jump over, because our big shot machine doesn't like those speed humps. Line that up and run that one through. Okay. And last but not least, we have a cute little butterfly that I want to cut out. And I want to cut out some out of the pool party and some out of our rich razzleberry. So I'm just going to pop that there. We've got this beautiful little butterfly. It's tiny, it is gorgeous. So we're going to cut 2 out of the pool party and 2 out of the rich razzleberry. So bear with me while we do this. They are super, super cute. So we have one there. I'll pop him aside. Look how cute he is. He's gorgeous. Okay. And we'll do another one of those. And then we'll bring in our rich razzleberry and we will do 2 out of the rich razzleberry. This color combination is gorgeous. Although to tell you the truth, I've just noticed I'm actually not using rich razzleberry here. I'm using Merry Merlot. So there you go. I've changed up the color scheme a little bit. But anyway, it's all good. I just looked and I thought, that is actually not as pink as the rich razzleberry has a real purpley pink to it. And I'm like, that is Merry Merlot. I got the wrong piece of cardstock out. But anyway, it's okay. These colors go together quite nicely as well. So, all right. So we have our little butterflies ready to go. If I can get that one out of the framelit. Ah, that one doesn't want to come out. Ah, there we go. Okay, so we've got all of our die cutting all done. So I'll move that big shot out of the way. And I'll pop my framelit back up there. So we have our 2 frames. We have our gorgeous little butterflies. So we have 2 in the Merry Merlot, not the rich razzleberry, but it should be rich razzleberry, but that's okay. We're having a bit of a change up here with the colors. And we have that. Okay. So now what we're going to do is to start to assemble this card a little bit. So we're going to glue our layer, our stamped layer, onto a layer of Blackberry Bliss. Now the Blackberry Bliss layer is cut at 5.5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. Our Whisper White layer is cut at 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. Okay, so it's cut 1/8 of an inch smaller than our rich razzleberry layer. So we have our pool party layer. That is our base. Now our base is cut at 5 3/4 inches this way by 8 inches. When folded in half, it gives us a card front size of 4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. Okay. And that is going to layer up nicely onto our pool party base. So now what I'm actually going to do is, these framelets, I'm just going to pop a little bit of Tombow glue around that framelit edge. And when I say a little bit, you don't need a lot of glue. You don't want that to ooze out. So we're actually going to put that on a little bit of an angle on the front of our card like that. Okay. And this one we're going to glue on and we're going to screw with it the other way on the front of our card. So this is a great way of creating a little bit of interest in the background of your card. So we've got the gorgeous stamped background, and then we've got these beautiful framelets that we've popped over the top. Okay, just gonna hold that down until that glue takes hold. Okay, so now with our butterflies, what we're actually going to do is we're going to take a dimensional and we're going to pop our butterfly up on a dimensional. And that butterfly is going to sit just up here on the corner there. And we have another butterfly that we're going to grab a dimensional. We're going to pop a dimensional on the back of that one. And this one is going to fly just down here like that. Okay? Now, in the middle of these butterflies, I actually want to pop one of these gorgeous little intricate butterflies in the middle. And they're quite fine and intricate. So I'm actually going to take a glue dot, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to roll the glue dot into a little bit like a worm shape. Okay, so you can even get it between your fingers and roll it. And then that is going to nicely fit down the body of that cute little butterfly, okay? So I'll zoom that in so you can see where that glue dot is. It's just down the body of that butterfly, okay? And then what I'm going to do is, in the middle of this butterfly here, I'll just pop out the pieces out of there. We're going to pop that into the middle of that butterfly there like that. So just like so, and move it around with your, take your pick tool to get it lined up exactly where you want it. So just like that. So we've got a gorgeous butterfly. So I'm now going to do the same thing with a pool party one. So I'm going to roll that glue dot again. So roll it with your, take your pick tool, then grab it between your fingers and roll it. Okay, and then you get like a little, sort of like a worm of glue. And then we're going to stick that in the middle of that pool party butterfly. And then he's going to go in the middle of this one just here. Okay, so, and then with your, take your pick tool, get it exactly where you want it and press it down into that butterfly. Okay, so there we have our two super cute butterflies. I've got two other little butterflies and I'm going to use them in a little while. Now the next thing what we're going to do is we're going to stamp a sentiment. So we need a strip of pool party. So what I decided to do was just take this piece of pool party and I'll stamp just down towards the edge, the bottom of the layer. And I'm going to take my Blackberry Bliss and I'm going to stamp it with my Blackberry Bliss. And this says, friends like you mean more every year. Okay, so I'm going to stamp that just down towards the bottom there like that. Hopefully, fingers crossed I've got it straight, and yes I do, which is super awesome. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my handy dandy little baby trusty trimmer. Now you can get this trimmer at the moment during celebration. The only way you can get this trimmer is to purchase the starter kit during celebration. And that means joining my Wild Heart Crafters team, which I would love to have you as part of my Wild Heart Crafters team. But this you get for free with your starter kit. So for $169, you can purchase the starter kit. You can choose $235 worth of product. Get this itty bitty baby paper trimmer, which is super, super awesome. And a pack of 6x6 designer series paper, as well as choosing $235 worth of product. And you get to choose another stamp set of your choice free. So any stamp set that you love in either of the catalogs, you get to choose that stamp set for free, which is fantastic. So now I'm going to take my handy dandy little triple banner punch and I'm going to banner the end of my sentiment. So I'm just going to pop that in. So I want that to be sitting on the front of my card this way. So I'm actually going to banner this end here. So I'm going to pop that into my triple banner punch and I'm going to punch that out. And that could still be too long, and if it is too long, I will just punch it again. Which, yes, it is. So I'll go back into my triple banner punch and go a bit further in and punch it again. Okay, so just there. Because you've got your framelits here on an angle, it's really funny trying to get it to line up straight, but that looks pretty straight to me. So I'm just going to turn that over and pop some dimensionals on the back. Because we like 3D dimension in our cards. If you have watched me before, you will know that I love dimensionals and I love popping up layers on the cards. It just gives that wow factor to your card. And our dimensionals are very, very economical. We get 300 in a pack and they're only $6 to buy a whole pack. And you can use every single skerrick, even the outside layers of your dimensionals. You can use all of those. So you can get a lot. They go a fair way. So I'm now going to pop this up onto the front of my base of my card. And then we're going to stamp an insert for the card. So what I tend to do with my inserts is I like to bring a little bit of the front of the card to the inside of the card. So I'm just going to line that up evenly on the front of my card. And pop that down. Okay, so we have two more pieces. I've got rich razzleberry, but I'm going to change that to Merry Merlot so it all blends. So there you go, you're going to see the difference. I did have rich razzleberry out, but I ended up getting a Merry Merlot. So we're going to stick with the Merry Merlot because that's what we've done the whole colour scheme with here. Okay, and I've cut them that they are not going to layer up because that's right, I didn't cut that one small enough. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get my handy dandy little trimmer again. Okay. And I'm going to go in 1/8 of an inch smaller. So I'm going to do 3 5/8. So I'm going to trim that at 3 5/8 like that. And I'm just going to take a smidge off here because I'm going to guess what that measurement's going to be. So just like that. And I'm sure that is going to line up on our layer perfectly, which yes, it does. So we're going to get just that slither of Merry Merlot in behind our card. So I'm going to bring in my scrap piece of paper again because I want to stamp that gorgeous leaf foliage again with my pool party. So I'm going to ink that up. And I'm going to stamp it down there in the corner. I'm also going to stamp a little one there and a little one there. And then I'm going to turn this one around and I'm going to stamp one coming down through that center. So that still leaves us enough room for writing on our card, which is great. Make sure I don't lose those two little butterflies. I'm also going to bring in an envelope. While we're stamping, I'm going to bring in an envelope so that we can stamp our envelope so everything matches with this card. So we've got our envelope. We're going to do the same thing with that leafy foliage again. We're going to, in that corner down here, stamp that. And then over on the back of our envelope, in there like that. So that just lets everybody know that's receiving this gorgeous card in the mailbox that it's a hand-stamped card. When you see a stamped envelope like that, you know that what is inside is going to be absolutely beautiful. So now we're just going to turn that over and we're going to pop some liquid glue on that. So our liquid Tombow, once again, the reason I use my liquid Tombow is to get that wiggle room to allow me to line it up on that layer and get that border exactly how I want it. So we're just going to wiggle that around until we get a nice even border all the way around. When you've got it where you want, press it down. We're then going to turn that one over and with some Tombow, we're then going to glue that to the insert of our card. And I'm going to, just under those little butterflies, I'm going to put some Wink of Stella on the wings. Remember, Wink of Stella will move your glue, your ink around, so be careful not to get into that Blackberry Bliss ink because it will blend your color and make your color move. So be careful with that. I'm going to, once again, spritz my card with some Wink of Stella. So this one's nearly out, so hopefully it will work really well. So you squeeze a little bit of Wink of Stella down in and then bash it on something quite hard and you get gorgeous spritzes of Wink of Stella. I don't know whether you can see that in the light, but it's absolutely stunning. If you have not subscribe to my channel, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notifications so that you get notified every time I upload a video. Now, if you want to purchase any of the products that I have used in this video today, you can purchase them by clicking on the show more box down below and you will see the link to my online store. If you live in Australia, anything that I have used today can be purchased through my online store and it helps me bring you more videos like these. So hopefully you enjoyed this video and thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend a bit of time with me crafting. And until next time, have a lovely day. Bye for now.
Can do most anything, so just do what you love. Live it, share it, you know it's what you're dreaming of. It's what you're dreaming of. What we love, what we do makes a difference in me and you. All these years of inspiration and love.